So, I've been in fencing for quite a long time now, and I want a way to practice better with by myself. So, my idea is to make a fencing arm that I can do blade work practice with. So, my idea, grab my whiteboard here, get a little closer, is to make a frame. Oh, that's orange. But make a frame where I'm holding the blade in the center, and I have a bunch of springs. So I'm going to just suspend it with springs. And so when I take a blade action, the springs should help return it to normal. Simply put, it's going to be a lot more complicated than this. But I'm just going to start and get a working solution and fix any problems that I come up with as I come up to them. So the springs that I have are these. They're from a bed frame, or not a bed frame, but a mattress. And so I need to have a way to capture these springs, and they're fairly stiff, so I think they'll work all right. I have a bunch since it came from a mattress. So this is the beginning of my project for a better fencing dummy, I guess you could call it. We'll see where we come up with. Okay. So I'm almost done printing all my spring brackets. This is a test one that I did just to test the effectiveness of what I'm trying to do. So what I want to do, let me set the camera down here, you can see. So what I want to do is take this and bend it at 90 degrees. And that'll give it some tension. And so currently I'm designing up a bracket that's triangular shaped. And so we're going to have one on top that's hanging down, and then two on the sides for side-to-side movement, and then one to keep it up. And nothing to pull it down because gravity's going to be pulling it down, so I don't want to help gravity with that. So I have that, and it seems to be pretty reasonably strong. It just have it bolted to this with some M3 screws, or bolted there, and it's pretty strong. I've been messing with it all day and haven't been able to get it to break or even budge on me. I had it in my lunchbox, and I was thinking I could make a trap that's like a spring trap. When you open my lunchbox, it shoots whatever I want out. But so that's that. Now what we need to do is mount a blade, or come up with a way to mount a blade to one of these spring clamps. So this is what I'm going to use for the fencing dummies arm. Recording a video. You can go.
Okay.
So I have an old epee bell that's going to be hooked up to an old practice foil blade that I have. I know it's going to be pretty ugly, but it's what I have available. I'm going to make use of it. Okay, so I've done some thinking on how to mount the blade, this part, to the springs, and so I'm going to use a block of wood that I have in the garage here. I'm not sure what sort of wood this is, I just know that it's wood. So we're going to cut a little section off of it and start drilling holes. Okay, so I've this is where the threading on the sword stops, and this is where the other side of it, the end of the blade, is. So what I'm going to do is drill a hole all the way through till right here, and then drill a smaller hole the rest of the way so that the washer has something to sit on, and then the blade can pass all the way through. and I'll oversize this hole so I can get a wrench into it to tighten it to the block of wood, and then this block of wood will provide me spaces to attach my springs to it. Which maybe what I should do is, so that's the triangle goes like this. So maybe I should cut this block at an angle so that I have a 60-degree angle on, well, actually it'd be the other way around. So it'd sit like that. So the top and then the two sides. Okay, so I got my block machined out, or not machined, just table saw. It's a rather dull blade. It burned it a lot, but we got it, and I got my spring thing here. So now it's just a matter of putting everything together. Alright, so I got it mounted up right here. 1/8 inch plywood's a little warped from these springs, but I think this is going to work. This is very stiff. So, and I have holes here, so I'm just going to screw this to my fence for right now until I come up with a stand for it to mount onto. But now all we got to do is mount a blade on it, screw it to the fence, and see what happens. So I got the springs mounted, and looking at it, it's they kind of all meet up at the center point. Okay. But I want this to meet up on this block here, so it'd probably work if I was mounting it this way, but I'm not mounting it that way, so this should be an easy thing to pull these off and put the holes a little bit further, probably move them by the diameter of the spring itself, and shouldn't be a big deal to throw back in the laser and fix up real quick. So, easy way to fix this is put a piece of scrap on the table there, place a box, and I'm just going to cut that box out of that piece of scrap. And the home position is going to be the exact home position for the corner of my board. So I'm cutting out the scrap piece right now, and then I'll pull that piece out, and then put my board back in there, and then I can just easily take this, put it in that spot, and cut out my new holes. Alright, so got this re-lasered, and now that's ending up in a position I like the look of a lot better. So I'm going to add the rest of the spring. Alright, here it is. Blade's mounted on here a little loose because I need to switch to an outside nut for the blade, but I think this will work for a good test. So some of the problems I'm seeing right here is that it's a little low. I want it a little bit higher up. But I can just mount it a little bit higher. But I'm too close to the fence to actually do any meaningful play takes. So I need to make a stand. Maybe a whole arm. This is just version 1. This is just version 1, and I'm going to continue to improve this. And but if I take a expulsion, jiggles around, and then comes right back. Can't get as small as I want when I'm in the fence here. And once you come closer, see, it's just pointed a little bit down. I don't particularly like that. But I'd say this is a good version 1, and we'll feel like I've got something on my face. This is a good version 1, and I think we'll call this video right here, and I got some improvements to add. So I know I said I was done earlier, but I had more ideas that I just had to get out. First thing I did was I flipped this around so that the 2 springs are on top. That helps keep the blade a little bit higher up. Next thing I need to do is build an extension so that this comes out more like an arm and not, you don't hold your blade right here. But see how this works. The fence again, but what I want to do more, or what I want to do now is, this is version 1. I think version 2, I want to make the springs a little bit more internal so that I can have a target area for the hand. Like I said, this is just version 1. This is going to get me started. So version 1, I'll bring it out a little bit further.